Law number 4. Change is the only constant. And even change changes into that which is stable and unchanging, which creates the first 3 laws which never change. So it's a complete cycle. Change. Change is obvious even to you. Everything changes. Or does it? Now, if you understand the nature of existence, you can understand what change actually is. The experience of change is not exactly what you think from your perspective. If everything is here and now, that means you know what? Everything simultaneously coexists. Everything simultaneously coexists. And when I say everything, I not only mean every reality, I mean everything you perceive as a different moment already exists now, with the moment you're experiencing now. So how is change possible? If everything already exists, if every moment is like a frozen snapshot without the concept of time and space, how do you experience change in your consciousness? Simple. Again, it's a matter of shifting the frequency. It's a matter of shifting the perspective. What you call movement, what you call change, is simply an issue of you shifting your perspective and having a different point of view of the same now moment. That's all it is. That's all it is. You are simply seeing the same moment from different points of view with such a degree of rapidity, as you say, that it appears to be what you call movement through space and time from your perspective. But from our perspective, it doesn't look that way unless we want it to. From our perspective, everything is already there. Everything is already here. When we look at you, when we sense you, we see all of you. All of you now. What you call your past self, your present self, your future self, all of that is presented to us in one snapshot, like a holographic matrix, spread out like a deck of cards, all at once, like various frames on a film strip. All the frames are there for us at the same time, here and now. So when it appears like we are accessing, or anyone on your planet is accessing the future, the past, they're not. They're accessing different aspects of the now, because it's obvious in the same way it's obvious when you hold up a film strip and look at all the different frames. Oh, I can look at that frame. Oh, I can look at that frame. Because they're all here now. It's the same idea. And it's also why we know. What? Know what you are capable of. Because you're capable of it now. Because it exists now. We know what you are capable of knowing. Because from our perspective, you already know it. It's just that in this frame, you don't know you know it. But we do. And what we are doing today is designed to help you look at that frame where you know it. Now, yes, we are familiar with the understanding of the philosophy that true wisdom comes from when you know you don't know. I understand that. But that's slightly different than what we are talking about here. Because even when you know, the more you know, the more you don't know, you still allow yourself in the moment to know certain things. Even if it's only that you absolutely know that you don't know everything. Even that is a knowing. And it's that kind of knowing that we're talking about. The immediate, right here, right now, knowing of who you are, what you are, and how you can prefer to be. That is the knowingness we are discussing. The other knowingness is the knowingness of things that we were talking about at the beginning, that we know you don't always have to know. As sometimes people have asked us, Bashar, is there anything you don't know? Our answer is, I don't know. Because I am not being that being at this point. Of course there are things we don't know. But it doesn't matter, because in any given moment, what we need to know, we know. And we know we will know what we need to know in that moment. And whatever we don't know in that moment, we know we don't need to know. And that's the kind of knowing we're talking about. The difference between knowing that you know what you need to know and knowing that what you don't know, you don't need to know. Instead of worrying that you don't know something you need. That's the difference between the illusionary state you have created and the state of knowing. In the illusionary state, you can create the experience of worrying that you don't know something you need to know. From the state of knowing, you know that what you don't know, you don't need to know. That's what knowingness brings you. The certainty that there are things you don't need to know. That's the paradox of the state of knowing. But when you need to know them, if you do, you will. In that moment that you need to know them. But not before, but not later. That's the state of knowing. Relaxing with the idea that there are things you don't know and that's all right. And when you know you don't need to know them, you will then know that you know what you do need to know. And you will move forward with that knowledge. Knowing that if you need to know something else, you will know it when you need to. Know what I mean? All right. Take a deep breath and relax. Take another deep breath and relax. And one more time, take a deep breath and relax.